MerriMack Gaming Reviews. Where the hell is my name?
Hello everybody, welcome to yet another Super Review. Super Grover here with my one and only sidekick, the real Super Grover. You're not going to say hi?
Yeah, hello.
Something wrong with you, buddy? You don't seem like your usual, jocular self today, huh?
I'm just really disappointed with this game. I mean, I'd rather put my blue balls in a vise than have to play more of this garbage. I mean, this game belongs to Oscar.
What?
Oscar, you know, Oscar the Grouch. He lives in a garbage can. This game is garbage. Never mind.
Yeah, no, I got you. That was
Just
funny.
keep
That was
going.
good.
Just
That was
keep
good.
going.
That was good, right? Okay then. Yes, we are here to review Syndicate on PC, and I mean, what can I say? This game was a gamble that unfortunately did not pay off in the end, or middle rather, since I didn't even finish the game. I mean, I knew nothing about it. Maybe that's my fault. Maybe I should have done some research, but I went in completely blind, and not the best $60 I ever spent. I wouldn't say it was the worst $60 I ever spent. Remember that one night?
Oh my god, yeah, you had that rash for
Okay,
weeks.
anyway, let's begin our super review, okay? Okay, this review won't be long because I really don't have a lot of positive things to say about it.
You actually have something good to say about this game?
Well, yeah, I mean, there were some things that I did like about it, but there are plenty of negative things to talk about, but I don't want to be up here complaining for 20 minutes, so I'll keep it short for you guys. Just give you the general idea of what I thought about the game. So I guess we'll go with the pros first. The whole futuristic environment was very interesting to me. I like seeing the developers' different concepts or what they think that the future is actually going to look like. And it's just something that I always enjoy seeing in games with that kind of setting. It was much like Deus Ex, Human Revolution, though it was not nearly as good as that. It just reminded me of that. It had the same similar futuristic feel to it, and I enjoyed the environments. Now, this was supposed to be an action first-person shooter game, and when there actually was action, it was pretty entertaining. I'll give it that. The one sequence was really good when you're aboard this train, right? And you're given this minigun with unlimited ammo. It's completely unlimited ammo, and I love that in games when you're given guns with unlimited ammo. It's just cool. It's just a cool feeling. You know, you can just mow people down and you don't have to reload ever. It's awesome. So you're on top. So eventually you're on top of this train, and it's moving with super speed.
Super!
Yeah, and these enemies are on these like flying motorcycle vehicles, flying past you, and they're shooting at you, and you have to shoot at them with the minigun, and eventually this chopper gunner thing comes after you, and you have to shoot that down. And it was cool. It was cool. I mean, it was really impressive. That was probably the most impressive part of the game that I've played. One unique feature that I thought was particularly interesting about the game was the ability to hack into like the enemy's chip in their brain. They had these chips in their brain. I guess they were implanted early on before they became a soldier. And you were given, as far as I got in the game, I was given 3 abilities to play around with. And it was, what were they called? They were called, what was it? Suicide, Persuade, that's right, and Backfire. Now, Suicide and Persuade, they were very similar to each other, but they were different. And I'll explain. So if you wanted to hack an enemy's brain with Suicide, right, you would hack them, and then what would happen is they would turn the gun on themselves, and they would shoot themselves. Making it easier for me, because for one, I didn't have to shoot them, and two, it would save me some ammo, instead of having to shoot them and kill them and lose ammo, so.
This game makes me want to use that on myself.
Are you drunk?
Maybe.
Okay, that's very unprofessional. If I use Persuade on an enemy, okay, this is the difference here. He would not only kill himself, but first he would shoot any of the enemies around him. So say there was like 2 or 3 enemies around him, he would kill them first, and then he would kill himself. Again, making it easier for me, in the situation. And the last one that I was given was Backfire. And this wasn't as fun. It wasn't as interesting. You would hack their brain, and for some reason their gun would backfire on them, and it would leave them paralyzed. They would fall on the ground, leaving you enough time to go up and finish them off. So those are the 3 abilities that I thought were a neat feature. It was unique, something I haven't really seen before in any game. And it also gave you different and alternative ways of dealing with the situation that you were put in, instead of just having to shoot them, go, shoot them, keep going, shoot, it got repetitive. But with this, it kept it nice and fresh for a little while. And the last point that I have for the pros was, I think it's unintentional. Not that the developers had the intentions of throwing comedy into this game, but I found some anyway, just in my own little personal way. It was just funny to see how the enemies would roll around on the ground while in the middle of this gunfight. Like, I would be shooting at them, and they would go behind the cover, and so I'd wait for them to, pop their head up so I could shoot them. But they rolled out of the cover, and they just rolled around, and they're like, pew, pew, pew. It was like, what the hell are you doing? Who does that in a gunfight? It takes, like, serious balls to do that while getting shot at, You're rolling around, you're getting shot at, you're shooting at me, and you're hitting me. You're hitting me nonetheless. It was just funny. I don't know. It was like something out of a Rambo movie. It was just funny. I don't know. Maybe it was just me. I thought that was humorous. So I tried to find everything positive in this game that I could, because it was just it was tough. It was tough. So I mean, other than that, those few points I had, I really could not think of anything else that I liked about this game. And I tried to think hard, which leads me to the cons list. So, now I'll give you a little perspective on myself, I guess. When I play a video game, I like to have an engaging and entertaining storyline to go along with the gameplay. If it has a storyline. Okay? If the game is supposed to have this dramatic storyline to it, I want it to be good, to keep it interesting, to keep me playing. Okay, now, because when the storyline gets a little stale, it gets a little boring, I'm going to lose interest like that in this game. I lose interest because my character, the character that I'm controlling, I feel like, why am I even controlling this guy? I don't care about this storyline, Now, I know it's just a game and all that, but I feel as though my character has a purpose, for what they're doing, and I just didn't get that at all from this game, like, ever. I didn't care for any of the characters. I didn't care for my character, Kilo. I mean, what the hell kind of name is Kilo? That's like an abbreviation for a unit of weight. Kilo, or, it could be kilo, kilometer, kilowatt, what kind of name is that? It's stupid. Maybe it's because I didn't actually play the original Syndicate back in the day. And I didn't get to know the characters, if these are even the same characters, I don't know. And for those who did play the original Syndicate back in the day, and they liked it, maybe they'll like this one too, better than I did. They'll have a better connection, because they'll have a better understanding of what's going on in the game, better than I did. But story is a big thing for me when playing this type of game. Now, if I'm playing like Super Mario, Super Mario Brothers 2D side-scroller, or Donkey Kong Country, or Sonic, I couldn't give a flying about the story. It's just mindless fun. Donkey Kong Country is my favorite game of all time. because it's just mindless fun. You don't have to think about it. There's no storyline really. It's just cool. It's just a good game. Okay. Now one thing that was super aggravating
Super.
to me, yes, to me was the lack of a map. Okay. The majority of my playthrough, if you watched it, I was asking myself, where the hell am I going? Where am I? What am I supposed to be doing? You know, and I had to guess. I had to keep guessing, and it frustrated me. Now, there's a difference between like a puzzle game, a puzzle type room in this game, where they want you to find this secret entrance and you have to solve this puzzle to move on, to get to the next part of the game. Okay, that's one thing. It's another thing to throw you into this open world and they give you this objective and it's just like, have fun finding where you're supposed to go. I'm not going to tell you because there's no map or anything. You know, like Uncharted, you know, they throw you into this puzzle room, but they give you these clues that make sense, so you solve the puzzle and you move on. But this was not the case for this game, and it was just starting to piss me off, and it took away from the game, you know, because I was getting frustrated. I was like, oh my god, where the hell am I supposed to go, you know what I mean? And that's where a map with some sort of objective marker would have been much more helpful than me just running around like an idiot until I finally figure out where I'm supposed to be going. So that was one thing. Another thing, I feel like I'm ranting here. I'm not really ranting, I'm just trying to give you guys the best possible review so you can make up your mind if you want to get this or not. Another thing that would have been helpful were not just an objective marker, but more elaborate objectives instead of just escape from the train station. Wait, I'm on a train station? I didn't even know I was in a train station. I had no idea until I looked at my objective and I was like, oh, I must be in a train station if they want me to escape from it. You know, give me something more elaborate. And again, this kind of ties into needing a map with an objective marker. I mean, you'd think being the year 2069, or whatever the hell it is in the game, that they'd have the technology to do that, but yeah, that's neither here nor there. I know it's not the game's fault, really. Speaking of the game itself had nothing special going for it whatsoever, ever. You know, and I only played half the game, but that's why I quit the game. I felt like I was wasting my time. It was just another first-person shooter. It was just another generic first-person shooter with shitty gunplay and the aiming. Oh my god, the aiming. It was just unbelievable. I mean, I thought at first, oh, okay, you know, you'll get used to it until, you know, you'll just get used to it as you keep going. No, that is not the case. Nope. It's not the case at all here. You do not get used to it, ever. It reminded me of that time that years ago I played Counter-Strike wasted, completely wasted. Have you ever tried that? It's fun, but it's not easy, okay?
I wish I was drunk right now.
I'm pretty sure you are, but there's beer right over in the fridge, right there.
Thank
Okay.
God.
Yeah.
I cannot get up though.
You can't get up? Are you serious? Then why are you getting a beer? Just here.
Just one
Okay,
more.
here,
Just
I'll
want
help
one
you.
more.
Okay. There you go.
Ah!
Well, just beer. Come on. Give me a beer. Grab me a beer. Come on. Alright. So, I mean, it was hard enough to actually hit the enemy, but the one boss, okay, the
Oh
one
yeah,
boss.
that's good. Ah,
Where's mine?
sorry. Last one.
Thanks. That's awesome.
I'll go get more. Relax.
No, don't take my car. No, you're not taking my car.
Hello. I have a cape.
Yeah, well. No, you can't drink and fly. You remember? Remember? That was 2 years ago, and I'm not doing that. Of all the trees you had to land in, you had to land in the biggest freaking tree. I had to climb that, bring you down. You puked on me, okay? I don't want to go through that again.
What are you, my mother?
Just, no. Walk if you have to. Don't fly.
You want beer, don't you? I'll be back. Up,
was saying, the one boss, he won't be back, I guarantee you. The one boss was flipping around like a damn monkey. Okay, it was nearly impossible to hit him. It's in the walkthrough. Okay, so when I thought that wasn't hard enough, I finally got him down to a certain point in his health bar. Then he multiplied into 5 monkeys, and he was flipping around and all kinds of crazy stuff. Like, it was nearly impossible to hit him. It was ridiculous. And when you go behind cover, you know, because it's a regenerating health, right, for you. He has this gun that bends the bullets around your cover so it hits you, and you're like, what the hell, you know? So it was just ridiculous. I don't know. So my last con, I guess, is the asking price of this game. The asking price for $60 for this game is completely outrageous. Okay, now in theory, and I mean in theory, it's a fair asking price in theory, okay? Because it has the single player and the co-op, right? But I guess you can't really base the price on how much it sucks, okay? You know, they should start doing that, actually, right? They should start doing that. Like the shittier the game is, the cheaper it's gonna be, right? Okay, that really wouldn't work, though. I know, just wishful thinking, you know. So we wouldn't have to waste $60 on a shitty game, like I did. So that is my spiel for the pros and cons. So let's move on to how we scored this bad boy. All right. As you know, hopefully, if you don't, I'll explain. My scoring system is based on 7 categories. You have gameplay, length, entertainment, story, replayability, graphics, and lastly sound. Okay, 7. Gameplay. It was very generic and very boring. The controls were god-awful, and you couldn't melee unless you were near someone, like directly dead center in front of them. You couldn't melee unless you were in that exact position. Which, I mean, what the hell is that about? Have you ever seen a game, have you ever seen a game where you couldn't melee whenever you wanted? Like every game is either E for melee or F or V or whatever it is. But no, you have to be directly in front of the guy that you want to melee, and then you have to click middle mouse button to melee them. And it's just, I don't know. It was kind of stupid. I don't know why they decided to do that, but whatever. The length, I mean, well, I didn't even finish it, so I can't really fairly score that part of this. But I did look it up, and it rang in somewhere about 8 to 10 hours of gameplay, which is decent, you know, decent for the single player. And if you tack on the co-op, that's going to add a couple more hours to your gameplay. So length was decent. That's a good length. Entertainment, it had some, like I said, it had its moments. The train sequence I mentioned before, that was probably the best part that I've seen. And even though the boss fight with Jackie Chan was frustrating at times, it was fun. It was fun, I'll say that. Story blew my balls off. Not much more I can say there. Replayability, well, I didn't even get it through the first time, so the graphics ran like shit for me. And I had a well above the recommended settings. Okay. Now, at first I did start out playing it on my Alienware, which it wasn't running so well on there, so I switched over to my desktop, which well exceeds the recommended settings for this game, and it still ran really bad. I don't know if it was poorly optimized, or maybe it was because I was recording, I don't really know, but the graphics, like the actual graphics themselves, they weren't bad. But again, they were nothing special, nothing you haven't seen before, so that's that. And lastly, sound. The sound effects were impressive. The gun sounds, like when you shoot, they were good. The sound effects, like in the environment and the explosions and the voice acting, they were good. So the sound was decent. So here we are. Cons definitely outweighed the pros this time, which leads to a final score of 3 superstars out of 7. Would I pick this game up? Definitely not. Okay. Please refrain. Don't buy this game. I would skip this one, okay? And wait till Mass Effect 3 comes out, so you make sure that you actually do get your money's worth, okay? You know, that's just the trouble with PC. It's a gamble unless you do your research, which unfortunately I didn't do on this game, and I kicked myself for it. So if you do need to play this game, which I don't know why you would want to, but if you do need to play this game, please rent it on Xbox or PS3. Don't buy this for PS3. Well, don't buy it, period, for anything, any system. Okay? So, that's it. That's pretty much it. Excuse me a second, I'm sorry. Hello?
Hey, it is I, Super Grover.
What's up?
Well, Super Grover, is in jail.
Dude, what the hell, man? What did I tell you?
I know.
What did I tell you? I told you not
I know.
to drink and fly. And what'd you do? Okay.
Please hurry. This one guy is looking at me like he has not been hugged in a
Okay,
very,
okay.
very
Alright,
long
okay,
time.
fine. I'm coming. Just hold on, alright?
Please hurry.
Grover. Oh boy. Well, I guess I am on my way to jail to bail out Super Grover. But for now, please stay tuned for our upcoming gameplay of the Alan Wake DLC. I look forward to playing that. Okay? This is Super Grover 87, signing out.